Live from Las Vegas, here's Marco and Jeets.
All right, welcome back to the show. Got to get to our cool cop of the day story. Just want to do something every day for the cops. Tell you, man, nationwide, cops are under siege, being assassinated. It's so scary. We lose that thin blue line of cops, man. You don't even have a society anymore.
You don't even want to know what that day is going to look like.
You ever seen Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, really.
Or the Purge. Yeah.
Purge. Oh, man.
I don't want any part of that day.
No. So, been talking all week, just throwing 100% of our support behind the cops. And, the men, the women, the canines, the firefighters who back them up, 911 dispatchers, everybody. So every day we want to share a cool cop story. We hear so much about the bad and everything. We just wanted to share a cool cop story every day. So if you've got one, please share. If you want to kind of call and say, hey, I had this experience with a police officer and it was awesome. 702-791-1075. And just tell your story real quick and give some props. But found this story. I thought this was really cool. This was a police officer in Minnesota, and he was ending his 15-year career, and he's going to retire. And on his last day, he decided to go to a part of town that was notoriously bad for a lot of crimes, a lot of stealing and stuff. And it was a lot of like juveniles that were doing it, a lot of kids doing it. And it was a transit stop. So it was like a bus station.
Sure.
And he said, look, whenever we'd walk through this bus station, you could just see the kids. They were like, oh, no, the cops are here. Like, maybe they know that we did something or they're about to arrest us or something. So it was his last day. And so what he did was the night before, he went and bought gift cards and tons of school supplies because these are really underprivileged kids. And they were taking the bus to school. And he said as he was walking through on his last day, he had come to know a lot of the faces and he had to arrest some of them before. And they kind of looked away and everything. And he said, I walked up to all of these kids. I was like, how you doing? And they were like, oh, good. I didn't do anything. I don't have anything. And he's like, no. He's like, it's my last day and I wanted to give you something. He started handing out $25 gift cards to these kids.
Oh, that's amazing.
Bought with his own money and school supplies. He said some of the kids that had never been in trouble, but unfortunately were grouped with some of the troublemakers, they were working to get school supplies, because they were really serious about their education. So he had bought them school supplies and bought all the kids gift cards, $25 gift cards. He spent thousands of dollars of his own money. And he said, I just wanted to make my last day memorable. And I wanted those kids to know, hey, every time you see me, it doesn't have to be bad.
Right.
And I don't want it to end where the last time you saw me, I arrested you or I chased you or I had to tell you to get on the bus and go to school or I'm going to call your parents because you're out causing trouble. He's like, I wanted the last day to be that I did something cool for you. I thought that was really cool.
And, like I've always said, there are so many more stories like this you just don't hear about because we sensationalize either the bad cop or the injured cop thing or whatever. But, I mean, there's a million examples of these great men and women doing stuff just like this.
Yep. Well, the problem is that people just don't get loud about stories like this, and that's what I love about this segment so much is that we're finally getting loud about stories like this. You always hear people getting loud about the negative side of things. It's just like Yelp. Look at Yelp. You go on Yelp, it's nothing but negative reviews. You go to your favorite place and you're like, I love this place. Let's check them out on Yelp. And then it's just nothing but people just bashing them because they had that one bad experience.
Sort of weird. I'm guilty of it too. We trust negative over positive. When somebody says something positive, we assume they're either being paid to say it or they know somebody involved. But when it's negative, we're like, oh, yeah, absolutely. That sounds right.
Well, think of this as an example. If you're looking at movie reviews, right, like let's say you want to see a movie, so you see what people are saying. You see the first one, great movie, loved it. You're like, okay, that's encouraging. And the second one was like, seriously, stay away. Worst movie ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that sticks out. And you're like, ooh, I heard it's not very good. Maybe I won't wait till it's on Redbox.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I've never seen a movie because of a positive Rotten Tomatoes percentage, but I have not gone to a movie because of a negative Rotten Tomatoes review. Get what I'm saying? So if it gets 30%, then I'm like, I'm not going to see it. But if it has like a 90%, I'm like, I'm still not really sure.
Yeah, you still need to be sold.
Yeah. It's weird. It's crazy.
Yeah, you wait until Oscar season, and if it gets a nod, maybe.
But yeah, so cool cop of the day. We'll do it every day. Just find a great story. And you can always call and contribute or share if you want to email us a cool cop or Facebook. It's probably easier on Facebook and Twitter at Marco and Jeets.
I actually just got an email earlier this morning from a woman named Jamie Tobiason. She says, Ransom, Marco, and Jeets. As a faithful listener and a wife to a Metro officer, I genuinely wanted to thank you all for the unwavering support of law enforcement. It is so nice to turn on X1075 in the morning and hear you guys voice your support and give others a platform to do the same. You guys are great. It truly means more than you ever know to officers and their families and friends. Thank you very much, Jamie Tobias.
Jamie. Love you, Jamie. Love you, Jamie. All right, so cool cop of the day. If you got a story, call, share, contribute. Email, get us on social. We'd love to, give somebody props, especially if they're working in Metro or state police, highway patrol,
EMTs, stuff like
yeah,
that.
all that. They're all grouped together, So
Yeah.
if there's a massive problem, they're all going to be there. Real quick, let me get to Justin. Hey, Justin.
Hey, what's going on?
How much, man? What do you got, buddy?
So speaking of which, there's a cop right here in front of me. I'm about to pass, so I'm driving.
Okay. What's your story?
So I got pulled over the other day. I was drinking a few beers with my buddies. We all had a beer in our hands, and cops pulled up behind us. And, they took me out the car, asked us all for IDs, and they breathalyzed me. I blew a .5, and they searched us. My buddy had some marijuana, and they just made him stomp the weed out and let us go. Breathalyzed me. I'm only 19.
Well, that is pretty cool. And learn that lesson.
Sounds like a hell of a party, Justin. Hell of a party.
Jeez, Justin.
But, dude, those are pretty cool cops because you could have taken that ride, man.
Well, if nothing
Yeah,
else,
I
you could
really
have got
could've.
busted for open container.
Open
If
container,
nothing
that's what I'm
else.
saying. Could have
Yeah,
taken the ride for that.
And check it out, man. Like, you're young. Let this be a life lesson, man. You don't want to get taken in and just ruin the rest of your life. I know people who have gotten DUIs, and I know people who have just been taken to the clink just because they have that open container, man. You got lucky, bro. And you should
Yeah.
know that. So don't be a dumbass.
Yeah, dude, listen.
I looked back.
Justin, the booze can be at the end of your travel, at the end of your trip. So you go into your boy's house, the booze will be there. You go into your girl's house, the booze will be there. You don't need to put it in the car. It's just worthless, bro.
And not to mention, I took a 23-minute Uber drive yesterday, and it cost $7.
I know. It's like,
23
why would you do that?
$7.
Well, those are cool cops, man. They obviously realized they had bigger things going on in the community. And, yeah, you got lucky, dude. You got lucky. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I feel like that actually opened up my mind more than actually taking me to jail. I probably would have been a little mad
Right.
about
Right.
that one.
All right, good call. Thanks for calling, Justin. Appreciate it, buddy.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right, man. Be safe.
You too.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Guys are like, look, man, you just can't be doing this. You got to stomp out your weed, dump the beers out, and just don't do this again.
Yeah.
But and you know what? He made an interesting point. He's like, I could have taken the ride. I could have been arrested.
Yeah.
But isn't his reaction interesting? I got more out of that by them letting me go than I would have gone, take me down to jail and
Right.
you get a ticket and you got to go to court and everything.
And here's the deal, guys. Everybody, you got to remember that these cops were once kids as well. So it would be hypocritical for all of us to say that we never did anything like this when we were kids. When I was a kid, I was going to parties and I was drinking and stuff. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like if something did happen, where I got pulled over, that would be a very life-changing experience because that could ruin somebody's life.
Yeah, but for a guy like Justin, I would say, man, get on Twitter and Facebook and share that story. Instead of share the story of, yeah, man, I was walking and this cop was looking at me and you could just tell he was, trying to single me out because of whatever. Like, that's a story you get on Facebook and tell. I'll be like, I know I was being an idiot, man, but these guys were great and I got more out of it. So, cool cop of the day. We'll do a story every day. It's Marco and Jeets, X1075.